Hello guys, welcome back to another Serenitea Pot video. Today's design is a Melusine Village in Brumerose Reef. It's an interesting mixture of blue and pink. You can almost feel like you're at a gender review party. I'm sorry. For this design, I tried my best to imitate the Merusea Village in the game, but obviously there are some aspects that I couldn't do right, like the ladders the Melusines have, or the beautiful slope that leads to the main building. Still, I did my best and I think it looks great, I'm gonna be honest. The main thing I'm missing for this though is, well, the Melusines themselves. They're not playable characters or animals, so there is no way to get them into our teapots. I hope Hoyoverse considers making plushies or figurines of them in the game so we can place them in these designs. They did that for the Aranaras and it was absolutely adorable. Now, about how difficult this design is to make, well, I think it's not difficult, it just relies too much on every glitch ever. You need tons of sinking and floating so it can be annoying to copy it by yourself. Why so much floating, you ask? Well, remember when I complained about the surfaces of the desert dunes? Oh boy, we're in for a rerun of that experience. The coral boulders are super adorable and very useful, but unfortunately their surface is extremely inconsistent. It will let you place items on some parts of them, but not others arbitrarily. That is extremely inconvenient, so I opted to float items on top of them instead to bypass that limitation. I made about 3 concepts for this idea, and this is the one I like the most. Still, during the recording I changed my mind about some details like the type of plants and some of the finishing touches. At first I wanted to use some of the Sumeru seaweed, but I ended up changing my mind and going for a Fontaine brush shrub along with some of the old corals. I didn't want to use the corals from Encanomia because those are too small, and I thought the blue ones looked more like, I don't know, more like a fantasy touch to the scene. The Encanomia corals are a little bit too serious. I don't know if that makes any sense, I'm sorry. By the way, did you know that the furnishing called Satisfying Weight is a chest full of tidalga? The Melusines love to eat the tidalga and they store them in these chests. I thought it was an interesting bit of trivia that I read while I was checking out the furnishings. I thought it was pretty cute. I wish we could have a tidalga floating around in the realm. That'd be cool, but probably the load cost would be too much. It's interesting that those are not animals that you can catch, they are just items to collect, so that's interesting. Anyway, I wanted to say something about the trees. The blue trees I chose for this design are from Sumeru, and they are definitely not part of the Melusine aesthetic in the game. But I couldn't find a more fitting tree for a Melusine village, so this will have to do for now. Be warned though, these trees made my FPSs drop at certain moments even during the building phase. They are a little bit of a strain, so maybe you won't want to place as many trees as I did, which is understandable. I don't really like the FPS drop that they can cause. It's not fun to walk around your teapot and have the FPS be dying like that. And speaking about strains, if I had to criticize my own design, I would say it's too crowded. The load for the Melusine furniture is surprisingly low, and I could manage to cram so many things before the load turned orange, and that's normally a good thing, but I I felt like I had to take the challenge to the limit to show my creativity, and perhaps it's not the best look. I mean, I placed too many items and they all look kinda samey, and at some point more is not always better, so maybe if I didn't make this for a YouTube video, I would reduce the amount of things that I placed. I'm not super sure. Balance is a good thing, but it's hard to maintain. But yeah, the Melusine Village concept is probably one of the most fitting designs for the Swirling Isles realm. I mean, I'll do my best to make other things look pretty, but I can't stop thinking about how it all kinda looks like a scene from SpongeBob when I place a normal city building under the sea like that. I guess I watched too much SpongeBob when I was a kid. I don't know, I'm sorry, I'll stop speaking about SpongeBob. Regardless, I want to make good use of the new realm, because we only get one each year, and it's an exciting experience to complete it for the first time. It will be great if they made several for the same nation if it fits though. Like, Mondstadt getting a dragon spine realm would be really amazing, but I suspect they are saving that aesthetic for Snezhnaya, which, you know, it's understandable, but still. I feel the same about the desert part of Sumeru. We got so many desert furnishings from Sumeru, and the best thing we can do is build at the beach in Cool Isle, because there are no more fitting environments. It would be so cool if we could change the texture of the terrain at will too. I often think about it. Rocky paths, dirt paths, snow for Christmas, different colors for grass. The possibilities will be incredible, especially the colored grass. Like this Melusine Village that I just made, I think it looks great, like I said before, but imagine if we could change the grass from the colors of the terrain to like a pink, like in the game. The Merusea Village has pink grass. It'd be amazing if we could just recolor the grass a little bit. It'd be so fitting. But yeah, I understand why that won't be a thing, because I believe Hoyoverse designs each realm with much care and meticulous detail, and that's the way they want the Teapot realms to be presented, especially for people that have never seen them before. Still, a girl can daydream. I guess that's what I am. A daydreamer with too much imagination. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's a curse, because I get hung up like thinking about stuff that will never happen. Anyway, what kind of realm do you think we will get with the next nation? That land sounds like volcanoes in my mind. I don't know why. I think because there is a guy in Inazuma that says there are hot springs in that land, so I think about volcanoes. But yeah, a part of me wonders if we'll get a desert area from there as well. Could explain why the Sumeru one didn't have any sand. Compared to the other nations, we really don't know anything about Natlan, huh? We didn't even get to see a single NPC from Natlan at all. That's a strange thing to think about. Even back in version 1.0, we had NPCs from the other regions. That's really mysterious now that I think about it, because we had these Snezhnaya NPCs at Mondstadt, not just the Fatui, the guy, the Snarevish guy, that's Snezhnaya NPC. There are some in Liyue as well. We had the Inazuman NPC in Liyue. We had several Sumeru scholars all around, mostly in Liyue. And we had Fontaine visitors as well, both in Mondstadt and Liyue. So It's kind of weird how Natlan is like the only region that never gets any exposure in terms of NPCs. That's kind of strange, don't you think? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this, even though I've been sick this past couple of days. I ended up getting COVID for Christmas, so that's why my voice sounds funny, if it does. I'm not sure. I feel strange about hearing my own voice in a recording. I think everybody does. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a couple of days. I hope you're excited to see the next design I make. It's probably going to be a rural village with all the harvest crops, so be excited for that. If it's not that, it's probably going to be a city, but I'm sure I'll make like a rural village. If it's not that, it's probably going to be a city, but it's most likely a rural village. So I hope you are excited for that. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.